Ooh, I see what you're doing, smirk. You want a full viral style dramatic short story, about tilde 1500 words, with heart, tension, and a life-changing twist. Let's do it. Billionaire in a wheelchair meets small-town mechanic. What happened next changed everything. When billionaire Ava Grant's luxury SUV broke down on a lonely stretch of highway outside the town of Red Willow, she assumed help would arrive within minutes. After all, she was Ava Grant, tech mogul, youngest self-made billionaire in the country, and a woman used to problems being solved with a single phone call. But her phone had no signal. The late afternoon sun baked the asphalt, cicadas screamed from the trees, and her custom-built SUV sat lifeless, hazard lights blinking uselessly. Ava sighed, resting her hands on the rims of her wheelchair. She'd survived far worse than a broken vehicle, boardroom betrayals, media scandals, the accident that had changed her body forever, but something about being stranded like this made her feel small. After nearly 40 minutes, a faded tow truck rumbled into view. Paint chipped, logo half peeled, definitely not part of her usual world. The driver hopped out, a tall man in his early 30s, grease smudged on his forearms, dark hair pulled back under a worn cap. He glanced at the SUV, then at Ava, and gave a polite nod. "Car trouble?" he asked. Ava blinked. No recognition, no widened eyes, no sudden change in tone. "Yes," she replied carefully. "Engine cut out completely." He crouched, peering under the hood. "I'm Luke. I run the shop just up the road. Red Willow Auto. Thank you for stopping," she said. "I'm Ava." Still nothing. Just a nod and a screwdriver pulled from his pocket. Within minutes, Luke straightened up. "Fuel pump's shot. You won't be driving this anywhere today." Ava grimaced. "Can you tow it?" "Yeah, shop's about 10 minutes out." "And, accessibility?" she asked, bracing herself for the awkward pause she'd learned to expect. Instead, Luke nodded immediately. "Ramps in the back of the truck. Shop's fully accessible. My mom used a chair." Something loosened in Ava's chest. Red Willow Auto was small but spotless. Old tools lined the walls, and a faded photo of a woman smiling beside a teenage Luke hung behind the counter. Luke helped Ava maneuver inside with easy confidence, no hovering, no pity. "Coffee?" he asked. "Not fancy. Just coffee. I'd love some." As Luke worked, Ava watched him from the waiting area. He moved with quiet focus, sleeves rolled up, grease streaking his cheek. No phone glued to his hand. No rush. It was strange, peaceful. "So," he said eventually, wiping his hands. "You passing through?" "Yes. I was headed to a conference in Phoenix." "That's a long way from Red Willow." She smiled faintly. Life has a sense of humor. Luke chuckled. "That it does." They talked while he worked. About the town. About how he'd inherited the shop after his mother passed. About how Red Willow had once thrived and slowly been forgotten as the highway rerouted. Ava didn't mention boardrooms or billions. She talked about loving books, hating flying, and missing quiet moments. Luke listened, really listened. By nightfall, he delivered the bad news. "Part'll take at least 2 days to arrive." Ava exhaled slowly. "I can't stay here 2 days." Luke hesitated. "There's a motel in town. Not glamorous, but clean. I can drive you." She studied his face, open, sincere. "All right." The motel was simple, but accessible. As Luke unloaded her chair, she finally asked, "You really don't know who I am, do you?" He shrugged. "Should I?" Ava laughed, a real laugh, surprising herself. "Probably not." She watched him drive away, something unfamiliar settling in her chest. Longing, curiosity. The next morning, Ava rolled into town on her own. Red Willow was quiet, worn, but proud. She stopped at a diner, where the waitress chatted like they were old friends. No one stared. No one whispered. At the auto shop, Luke looked up in surprise. "Hey, everything okay?" "I was bored," she said. "Thought I'd see if you needed help." He raised an eyebrow. "You know anything about cars?" "No, but I'm excellent at organizing chaos." That made him laugh. So Ava stayed. She helped sort paperwork, cleaned the tiny office, noticed how outdated everything was, ancient equipment, leaking roof, failing infrastructure. She noticed how hard Luke worked just to stay afloat. And she noticed the way he treated her like a person first, a wheelchair second. That night, as they locked up, Luke said quietly, "You don't belong here." She looked at him. "Why?" "Because you're more." Ava swallowed. "So are you." On the third day, her part arrived. Luke fixed the SUV by noon. As Ava prepared to leave, something inside her resisted. "Luke," she said, "if I told you who I really was, would it change anything?" He met her gaze. I don't think so. She took a breath. I'm Ava Grant. The Ava Grant. Silence stretched. Luke frowned slightly. Like, Grant Dynamics. Yes. He leaned back against the counter. Huh, that was it. No anger. She asked softly. No treating me differently. He shrugged. You're still the woman who alphabetized my invoices and beat me at checkers. Her eyes burned. Before she left, Ava asked one last question. If you had the resources, what would you change about this place? Luke looked around the shop. I'd modernize it. Hire locals. Make Red Willow a stop again, not a pass-through. Ava nodded. Good answer. 3 months later, Red Willow woke up to construction crews. The old highway exit reopened. The auto shop expanded into a full-service center. A community cafe opened next door. Jobs appeared. Tourists returned. No press releases. No headlines. Just quiet change. Luke stood in the new shop one evening when a familiar SUV pulled in. Ava rolled out, smiling. You did this, he said. We did, she corrected. You had the vision. I just removed obstacles. He hesitated. So what now? Ava looked at the town glowing softly in the dusk. Now, I stop fixing things from a distance. She met his eyes. I stay. And for the first time since the accident that had taken so much from her, Ava Grant felt like her life wasn't just impressive anymore. It was whole. If you want, fire more romance. Loudly crying more emotional trauma. Open mouth face a darker twist. TV YouTube style cliffhanger ending. Just tell me the vibe and I'll rewrite or expand it exactly how you want. 1500 WAD.